And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Griffcast Episode 2. I am Griffmore. I have with me TCP, the Caramel Prince, and Solips Fanaron. Now, so, heads up, TCP is on the road, so he might be in and out. And so, connection issues. Wild could not join us this evening. So we're just going to drop into it. TCP, what you been doing this week?
So not a whole lot. Been playing Control again on PC, and then about halfway through the week, went on a boys trip, bachelor party. So we're driving back now. As you can tell, I'm in the back of the van, trying to keep it real. There's other people in here, so if you hear some weird chatter going on my end or a scream, then that just means that the van driver decided to take us off the road. But we're gonna keep it moving and see what happens.
All right, so what you been jumping into?
Not a whole lot myself, really. I mean, as far as games go, I haven't really been playing much of anything except for Remnant. We were talking about that. It's one of the free games of the month for the PlayStation Plus. So I've been checking that out and just been kind of getting into making music and stuff on the computer and just getting in the early stages of fooling around with that. So aside from that, I haven't really been doing too much.
Nice. What program have you been using? Something like GarageBand?
That's exactly the one I've been using just because it was already on the laptop that I purchased. And I was like, well, it's free. It's already on here. I'll just go ahead and use it.
Yeah?
Actually, it's got a lot to choose from, a lot more than what I was expecting, which is really cool.
All right. I think that's the one thing that I've always wanted an Apple for was GarageBand. But there's other.
It's definitely a cool feature.
Yeah, there's. I know there's other options for Windows and things like that, but GarageBand is always one of the highest rated. So, but all right, let's jump into our first topic of the day.
That's funny. I hadn't even looked into it.
Let's jump into our first topic of the day. We got Godzilla versus Kong. So, I love these new monster movies coming out. I haven't seen Skull Island yet. That's the only one I haven't seen. There's lots of rumors going around, lots of potential drama going on with it. So, who do you guys think is going to win? Radioactive lizard or 80-foot monkey with opposable thumbs?
I think
it's a really hard call to make, Or
who they're going to have.
What's that?
Because it's a little bit different. There's a very clear winner. I know who should win.
Oh, of course.
But they might make it, they might try to switch it up or, give the underdog a little win here and there. But, I mean, if it's a straight-up fight, Godzilla's kicking the monkey's ass. There's no chance.
So, I don't know if you noticed or not, in the trailer, they made Kong a lot bigger than he used to be.
They made him huge. They had to, almost triple his size to keep up with Godzilla. Though, I mean, it's a little bit unfair because every Godzilla movie, every time it comes out, he gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But I guess it's only a little bit fair that they gotta make Kong match up in size. I mean, if they would have kept him the size that he was in Skull Island, and Godzilla the same size he is now, he would have just been able to step on him, dust off his shoes, and then just keep him.
The other thing I thought was kind of interesting from the trailer, in the very beginning, you just kind of, it's literally just Kong versus Godzilla, but is it here, or does it seem like it gets further in? It's actually this deeper thing where it's a bunch of monsters that are just ancient creatures that have just been against each other for ages, and now they're just waking up and going against each other again, or something like that.
So that was the premise behind the last Godzilla movie, is they found ancient ruins depicting the same thing. So I guess they're just going to be expanding upon that. Now,
right.
I mean, the one thing though, it was a critic's response to the last Godzilla movie was there wasn't enough people in it, but this trailer makes it look like there's too many people.
I mean, yeah,
there's a lot of big name actors I saw.
What was that, TC?
I mean, yeah, there's humans in it, but what are the humans really going to do? I mean,
fair enough.
I know it's going to be tough. It's not like they're going to be, taking pistols and rifles, trying to shoot at Godzilla, and Kong is like, no, stop, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to destroy the planet. I mean, it's like in the first Godzilla, the only thing they could really do was bring out a nuke, but that's a lose-lose. So,
yeah, he just
I
absorbs the
don't know why,
radiation.
I don't know why they think that a whole bunch of humans need to be in it to create a human drama. The only thing that the humans need to be in it for is being squished, running and screaming, and saying, let them fight.
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was interesting also when I was watching the trailer is that, with the human aspect of it, it seems like they are all confused as to who even they should be rooting for. They're like,
Right.
Godzilla, I remember hearing a comment where they're like, Godzilla's never done anything like this before, or something like that. And that was, I guess, one of the reasons why they went to get Kong specifically to go against Godzilla. And then it just seems like they start butting heads, and that's where the real drama breaks out. But
I thought it was
I don't know.
I thought it was that Godzilla's, they find Kong, and they're bringing Kong back from Skull Island. And Godzilla, he realizes Kong is coming, so he's like, sleep. And which is why they say Godzilla's never done anything like this, because it's not that he's fighting monsters, but he's also like fighting the humans that are in his way instead of being, Godzilla's always been protective, but now he's being offensive.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they're kind of like, oh, this is out of character for him. But I mean, monster going monster.
I'm just hoping for, an hour and a half of badass monster fighting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And
do you
coming
think,
back, I think they're going to turn it. You going to ask something? Is that about to answer what you're going to ask?
I was about to ask, do you think they'll do the Mecha Godzilla finale with it?
It'd be pretty
Possibly.
cool to see that come back.
I mean, it would be dope. Some people said it's all in the trailer. Quick clips of it. But I mean, it'd be dope. Or it might be, like a setup for the next movie. When they start bringing the entire universe together and make it more.
Yeah.
Did someone say they're trying to get it to crossover with Pacific Rim?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Pretty cool.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I could have. Damn it! Now, like, if this doesn't happen, I'm looking like the asshole. But I feel like they're kind of.
I don't see how they would make that work.
Yeah, I think with like the other monsters and everything that are coming out, that they're gonna like start, and that's why they're bringing humans back into it. They need to, get their answers so that they can actually fight these monsters, which is then they start having the Pacific Rim crossover and creating Jaegers. So
that could be interesting, but I hope they don't do it.
Yeah, it'd be weird. It'd be really fun. And, too many plot holes because it's, the kaiju in Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
They were interdimensional monsters coming from another dimension. So yeah, I mean it's just too many plot holes, but I can see how they can get through this.
No.
If that makes sense.
So also I do believe that this monster universe is doing a lot more on the profit making than Pacific Rim ever did. So why would you attach your profits to something that failed?
That makes sense.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Oh no. You didn't work?
Hey, there we go. Just hit it.
Just got to hit, man. Because of maintenance.
All right, we'll jump into the next one here. So, Radeon and Nvidia just keep throwing blows at each other here. We got. What's that?
No, keep going.
I mean, like Nvidia released the stuff for their 3080s and 3070s, and then Nvidia's like, yeah, we got that too. And then NVIDIA dropped their 6900. Nope, 6900 is Radeon. But like I'm sitting here looking at the the GPU rankings themselves, and they dropped the 3090, and that's the only thing topping the Radeon RX 6900. So,
I mean, it's almost a top up depending on I guess depending on into gaming you want to be what tier you want to be at. I mean, if you're comparing the 3070 versus the 6700, which they just NVIDIA or not NVIDIA, AMD just announced earlier in the week. I mean, I think it's a toss up. It might depend on your setups. You're saying about how AMD products usually work a little bit better together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What they?
I mean, yeah.
What do they call that? What was it? Smart access technology, where your GPU and your CPU will support each other back and forth if you're running both an AMD graphics card and an AMD processor. This is it used to be, 15, 20 years ago when everybody had that argument, which one's better for which graphics card, etc. You don't get that anymore. I mean, well, up until, this wave of cards, for the longest time, it was just use whatever works for you. They're all plug and play, just have fun with it.
Right.
But now it's, if you're running an Intel, you can use either one, but if you're running an AMD processor, then why not get the best of both worlds with an AMD graphics card?
I think it's still personal preference. From my personal opinion, I think NVIDIA's graphics cards are slightly a little bit better. Better when it comes to ray tracing. It took a while for AMD to get their ray tracing technology off the ground. I'm not even sure how good it is in the 6000 series for Radeons.
Now, does all the 6000 series have ray tracing, or is it just the newest one? Is it just the 6900, or is it all of the 6000 series?
I don't see why they wouldn't. I think this is the first series that they're putting out where they had ray tracing. They didn't have ray tracing on the 5000 series, but I could also be wrong. But I don't remember. I had a 5000 series for a split second, and I don't really remember any ray tracing.
No. That's what I'm using right now. I've got the 5700 XT, and yeah, there's no ray tracing.
Right, so I think they're just bringing out their ray tracing technology, and I mean, it wouldn't make sense for them not to have ray tracing on all the 6000 series. That would be kind of a stupid move. But I mean, it's possible. Maybe they don't have the funds, and I know AMD is trying to keep their cards on the cheaper end. Yeah. So if it's something that they if it's a price battle that for them that they're trying to work with. To get the upper hand by providing a cheaper product, and they have to leave off the ray tracing. So then, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, sometimes I turn off ray tracing just because I think your frames. If you're playing at higher qualities and you want the frames over the ray tracing, sometimes I turn it off.
Yeah.
So, those are my thoughts. But
all right. Well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's jump to the next one. You brought this up with us, so I decided to go ahead and throw it in there. The remakes versus remaster. Where did you want to go with this one?
Is this gonna be a long topic?
What's that?
I was to start. If he's I know I talked a lot about the last one. I mean, this is another touchy subject for me, but I'll sit back and I'll hold my tongue for a little bit.
Well, there's a lot to say about remakes and remasters because there's definitely a huge difference between the two. And some people would probably be willing to argue that depending on the game. Uh, like, just as an example, one of the most recent, not opinions, examples would be the Final Fantasy VII remake. And I'm only saying that because it is also one of the free games on PS Plus right now this month. So that one's fresh in my memory just because I happen to see it. And that game, love it or hate it, I mean that is a straight up remake. I mean that is definitely not a remaster. That is a remake. I mean that is a completely different game than what it was originally. Now, if you're the kind of person that wants that, hey, awesome. You got a brand new product here, a brand new game that's kind of like what you used to play, but totally what you used to play. And
actually, I think they're actually remastering that for the phone.
Really?
Yeah, I saw somebody post a link somewhere. Yeah, I saw somebody post a link to that somewhere, and it brought up they did a full, cleaned up all the dialogue boxes, polished off a lot of the polygonal edges and stuff like that, but it was basically the exact same game we played back in 1997, but you could access it from your phone. So, that I could totally see being considered a remaster, but
absolutely,
it's on your phone. It's like, is that really
mobile gaming myself?
Oh, we lost TCP
action there. But anyways, just to continue with what I was saying. It's I guess he popped back in.
There he is.
Not what I was saying. That kind of distracted me.
I don't think I missed too much.
No, you're good.
Right there.
So,
but I totally forgot what I was saying there for a minute.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. Depending on the game or the franchise, sometimes I think a remake is better than a remaster. There's those games that are like Final Fantasy VII. I don't think it needed to be a remake. It needed to be a remaster.
Right.
Wait,
no. What? You think Final Fantasy VII needed to be a remaster? All right. So now I'm coming into it again. I think everything should be a remake. If you're making, I think remasters is like the laziest, cheapest thing that developers can do to make more money. It drives me nuts. And I hate gamers for when they're just like, oh, they literally just made a game that I already own look a little bit prettier. I'm gonna go buy the shit out of it and play it all over again. I get it for the nostalgia and doing all that nonsense, but I'm like, they probably spent $10 up in the graphics and re-releasing the game and making $1 million more. It's such a cheap cop out to try to make money, but people love it up, like Call of Duty. They're like, oh yeah, Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 was a fantastic game, but all they did is make it a little bit prettier and re-release it for just a system later, and people are like, oh my god, let me get all this. Let me play this game again. They even bring multiplayer back, so it's just campaign. You know why? They didn't want to rebuild the servers. They didn't want to rebuild the servers and host new servers so you can play on it. You know why? Because you're fucking lazy and they didn't want to spend the money, but they want you to pay for the game so they can get more money.
All right.
Certain remasters that have made me realize that the memory of the game was definitely better.
Yeah, that's true. I
respect.
Go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
I can't even defend, remasters at this point in time because it's just that actually makes way too much sense. Like here I am looking forward to Diablo 2 remastered, or what's it called, Resurrected, and but I'm looking more forward to that because it's not easy to play Diablo 2, the original code, on a modern PC. Because the game itself was designed around using your frame rate as the game speed. So when you have all these PCs running around that can do, 90 to 120, 200 FPS, it kind of makes things not work in that particular instance. So using, I'm looking forward to that because I'll maybe hopefully get to, relive what my love of that game. Especially if the new thing comes out, it's true that you can actually access your old save files.
That is nice. So like when new games come out and you're able to access your old save files, that definitely makes it more appealing. I hate when if you do play like a remake, like so now I feel bad. I'm eating my own words. The Spider-Man remaster when it came out for PS5, it was nice to have in my save file transfer over.
Oh, so I don't know they did that.
You can play a game and not start from scratch. And it just makes it a little bit more fun. Though I could, having the option to go back and play it from scratch is nice, but I don't have to. But being forced to play it from scratch is a little unappealing.
Yeah, I can see that argument when it comes to remasters. If you're going to allow me to access the everything I've already done, then great. If not, do I really want to spend all that time redoing everything I've already done? All right. So
I've actually felt that way about a few remasters that I've played, and about halfway through or maybe a quarter way through the game, I'd be like, oh man, I really don't feel like doing this again. I've already done it. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah. I can see that. But on the same argument here, do we really need either? Are either of them necessary? Can we get new content? Can we get new games? Instead of focusing on this...
Personally do not believe that either of them are necessary, because I do believe that takes away from resources to make a completely new IP or take a gamble on something that could potentially be better than remaking or remastering.
Yeah.
But, that's purely my opinion.
I mean, I like remakes. So like you're talking about the remakes for like Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2. So I thought those were very good remakes because they were identical to the original game, but while still improving it, they still built the game, a new game from the ground up. They put the work in and didn't just take the old game and make it look pretty. They built a new game from the ground up. I want to say they did, new screen captures, motion captures, dialogue, and just remade the game. So that was nice.
All right, I can see that.
I think remasters are unnecessary and evil because, like I said, they're just
cash grabs.
Doing the cash grab, laziest thing possible, to get cash. Running out of ideas. You're saying if they take this time and effort to put it into new content, but they don't. A lot of big developers are running out of ideas. And it's also the community, because if they do have a new idea for a AAA game and it's not well received, they just get shot down from all directions.
Yeah.
And what you just said actually is one of the big reasons that a lot of the big companies don't take chances on new games, because they don't want to spend a lot of money on something that's just going to fail. And I mean, that's understandable from a business standpoint. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man, you got to let art be art and just let people create. I mean, if it works, it works. If it won't, well, then, just let it go.
Yeah. I can see that. Now, what I would love to see is, them coming out and instead of having the complaint of, oh, we have this many shooters, we don't need another one. We have this many RPG games, we don't need another one. Well, instead of saying that, how about we just find something and just set the bar higher? I mean, obviously, the bar can only go so high. You've only got, 10 fingers and a controller. But, find a niche and build upon it. On that whole, community ripping things apart, you're going to get that no matter what, I believe. Because how many times have you heard somebody say, oh, that game's dead, why are you playing it?
Yeah, I've definitely heard that quite a few times on certain games.
people still say that about Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has, between all their platforms, over 1 million concurrent players. You know?
That's no small number.
So why would you say that game is dead when obviously there's still a market for it? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not World of Warcraft, who still had, hit 7 and 8 million concurrent players, but nobody's going to hit those numbers, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
don't know. Some people say the game's dead just because they don't want to play it. I mean, I didn't like Destiny 2 when it came out, but I still gave it a run at it. And I think they probably made the game better, since I've last played it. But I didn't stick with it. But I'm also one of those gamers. I try to play, a whole bunch of things instead of just playing one thing for a really long time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like you. I mean, you have, you probably have thousands of hours in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you stick to it, you like it, and you invest in it, and there's nothing wrong with it. And like I said, it makes you happy. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's a good game, and you like playing it, and you make it happy. So
yeah, I like hobbyist games, and that's what most looters are. They're hobbyist games. If I can't get into anything else currently that I want to, like, I stopped playing Magic the Gathering. I stopped playing that about a year ago, and that was my hobbyist game. So when you can't invest in your time or money into that, you have to look for new avenues to fill the same niche. And that's why I love looters, is they're always there for you. Sometimes they suck, sometimes they don't. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Borderlands 3. I think, it has some of the best gameplay in the franchise, but overall the game itself is kind of lackluster. Destiny, definitely a looter. Wish there was more loot, but there's not. I had a point. It's gone.
Happens to me all the time.
I just derailed that train. I'm out. But I'm waiting for somebody to come out and just, for like the RPG genre. I want somebody to come out and just, it's like, the bar is here. We're just going to take it up just another notch. We're going to give you that new thing that just takes this genre to a whole new level. And same thing with Call of Duty, things like that. I can't really get into those like a lot of people can, but I'm not going to fault them for it. Same thing with the battle royales. I look at them and I go, they're all the same. I'd love to see. Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Try again.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely hitting on battle royales for a long time. But I started playing Warzone. I think the one thing that's about Warzone that everyone likes, and probably was what made it the best, is that just because you die doesn't mean that this round is over. You can win your gulag and come back. You can get brought back in. You got jailbreaks, and I think that's why a lot of more people are invested, in Warzone. I mean, of course, having the name Call of Duty behind it is always a huge plus. So they can just, Call of Duty, still do this, Call of Duty that. Everyone's just gonna eat it up.
So,
but
all right. Did you ever give shit? Can't remember the name of the damn game now. I just had it. It was right there. That's gonna drive me nuts. I'll come back to it. All right. So, I mean, I get your take on why remasters shouldn't exist, and remakes are definitely better. I can't even defend remasters at this point in time. With that point, it does just feel like a cash grab.
One thing that I will say about remasters, and I mean, as much as I also understand the same point that it's, nostalgia is a big thing, and if it's the right game, if it's the right product, I mean, you're gonna buy it just because you want to experience it again. especially if it's a game that's old enough that you don't have the same type of hardware to experience it again. And now all of a sudden it's become available again. You're like, well, hell yeah, I kind of want to jump back into that, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And, you know, oftentimes that's where it gets you, the nostalgia of something, you know, once again, the memory of something being better than the product actually is. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes that memory is priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for the developers, it's an easy cash grab. I think for the gamers, you know, that's why they buy into it so much. It's, you know, it's just strong nostalgia. It's, you know, I mean, you hit it perfectly on the head. You know, just being able to play something that you loved, you know, at better quality, and on your, you know, your newer but still current system. You know, I mean, yeah, you can't beat that. So
Only a selling point.
Cheap cop out, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this next topic here because I personally have been loving it. Let's do a little bit of Outriders talk here. People are going nuts over the demo. The game's not out yet, and people are going nuts in the demo. They've got like, you know, 40, 50, 60, 80 hours of farming in a game that gives you an hour of gameplay. That
definitely something to talk about.
like, that is unheard of. That is unprecedented. You know, obviously there's a bonus to doing this. You know, there's the whole, you know, if you if you buy the game, you get to keep your characters from the demo. So obviously there is perks to doing it. But, you know, what do you think this is? Do you think it's that people are actually enjoying it this much? Or is it that they have nothing else to do?
No, I mean, it's probably a combination of the two for some people, or for certain people. But yeah, it's definitely kind of weird that people are grinding a demo of all things. But I mean, I guess the idea that you can carry everything over, I guess that's what people are really banking on.
Yeah. I mean, like I did it for, I don't know, I put like something like 12, 15 hours into it myself. And I'm going to be going back to it because, you know, once I hit certain, you know, milestones in the few of the games that I'm playing, that's going to be it. You know, I'm going to be looking for something to do, and you know, Outriders hits, like I said, it hits all my interest notes. You know, it's a looter, it's a third person, it's, you know, it's got original, nearly original aesthetics to it. You know, it's, you know, obviously this kind of thing's been done before, post-apocalyptic future on another planet. We saw that with Anthem. We see that with Mass Effect. You know, it's, you know, you've seen it before. It's just this one is, it feels more post-apocalyptic. You know, like with Anthem, you're back into a, you know, civilization has reintroduced itself and, you know, and things like that. With this, it's, we're still fighting just to establish, you know, peace. We're still trying, you know. So I like that aspect of it. But I mean, just people are like going nuts over this. I mean, last I looked, it had almost 3 million downloads. You know, for a demo, that's insane for a demo.
That is pretty wild. And I was hoping that it was because, you know, they just, you know, they did something right. People were enjoying it. I think the fact that you can carry your character over and just can continue to play is like one of the highlights. I mean, that was a really smart move. Just so, like, a lot of people will play the demo, get so far in the demo, and then realize they have like, even though it was nice for me to taste the game and see if I'm going to like it or not, you know, it kind of sucks. I'm going to have to do this again later, and everything I've done in the demo won't carry over. I think having the ability to carry your character over was just an A+ move, like one of the smartest things you could do. But then you also mentioned that, like, I hope it's not because there's nothing else to do right now in the gamer world. And I'm like, yeah, there's not much going on in the gamer world right now. Everyone thought they would be, you know, taking all this time to play Cyberpunk, and then that fell flat on its face. So yeah, there's not too much to do right now.
Yeah.
But I can only talk so much about Outriders. Again, like I played only the beginning part of the demo. I got through like some of the tutorial, but didn't really dive deep into the game. I think it's going to be a game that I kind of like. I'm starting to get away from looter shooters. And is this a service game? It kind of feels like a service game.
So a lot of people are comparing it to a live service game. It is not. It is not a live service game. It is a you can do 100% of the content solo. They do, because of how their servers are made, you do have to be online to play, but it is not a live service game. There will be no microtransaction stores. There's no buy outside of the game content. They've come forward and they said, we're not doing anything like that. We're not doing seasons. We're not doing anything. If the game is successful, we'll do an expansion. If the game is really successful, we'll do a sequel.
Okay.
And it looks like it's going to be really successful so far.
More than that.
Yeah. So from when I was doing the shooting tutorial, it's going to feel like it's going to have a lot of Gears of War combat style.
So that is actually very misleading. The little gun tutorial you get is very misleading because it has you like participate in cover and all that. Once you choose your class and you actually develop the playstyle for the class, you will hardly ever use cover. Uh oh. We got stream lag all over the place here.
Speaking of cover for the game, it's developers put out an advertisement saying covers for cowards.
Oh. Maybe. Nope. Maybe.
I can't hear you.
Well, that was
Do you
fun.
at least have audio?
Yeah, we can hear you. And he's gone.
We could.
We'll give it just a second here.
Can you hear me? You hear me good?
We can hear you all right.
Okay. I'm gonna try it. With just without the video.
All right.
Hopefully that will make things a little smoother.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to do a new segment here that I'm just going to kind of throw out there. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, because it looks like this one's going to be a little shorter than an hour, which is fine. But I'm going to spit out a couple of topics. And if you want to talk about any of the topics, just pipe up. I've got just a list of just small, minor things. Are you guys ready? And I'm talking to myself. You guys catch all that?
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Am I coming?
Real quick, mate.
Can
Can you hear me, TC?
I said yeah.
Okay.
Can you not hear me?
You broke up there a little bit. All right, Solips, you ready? Oh, your mic's cutting out now. What's going on?
Are my connection issues?
it's been working fine this whole time. Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go. All right, I can hear everybody. All right. So, rapid fire news. Here we go. Switch Pro rumored to release this holiday season.
I'm excited about that. Only because
I
it's
can't
a
really
slap
say
in the
much on
face.
Switch.
I just got a Switch a couple weeks back, so it only makes sense that they're coming out with a Pro to just make me look like a fool for spending my money on the base Switch. But I mean, I don't even really play the Switch. The Switch is more for my girlfriend. She plays it a lot. She's having a lot of fun with it. Yeah. Definitely wasn't a bad move, but looking forward to see what the Pro has to offer.
I think it's just going to be
720.
I think it's going to be a bigger screen. And it's going to be, I think, like 1080, something like that, or in that range.
Just seeing 720. Is it already doing 720 now? Or is it doing 480?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't really delved and broken down the specs for it. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy, so I have a hard time actually looking at the products because I have zero interest in it personally. Outside of every couple of years going and buying the newest variation of the Game Boy and playing Pokemon.
Yeah, man. Oh, I had so many Game Boys. I had a bunch of Game Boy Colors. I had a few DSs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once I started getting more into consoles, broke away from the portable gaming like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I don't really need a Switch or plan to Switch so much because like if I do travel and game, I still have a gaming laptop that I'll just take with me and do that.
All right.
But
All right.
still looking forward to it. I know Nintendo kind of did their change up. They stopped trying to really battle the major consoles. I mean, Nintendo is a major console, but it's not trying to be the same as an Xbox or a PlayStation.
Right.
Ever since they put out the Wii. But I'm a huge fan of what they're moving to. Trying to change up the gaming. Make it a little bit more. A little bit more fun, a little different.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see what the Switch Pro has to offer.
So, all right, this next one. I'm actually personally looking forward to this. I'm gonna get it and try to throw in a short review next week. Keanu Reeves' comic book line just dropped. He just launched the first issue. Gosh, I can't even remember the name of it. But I'm looking forward to that myself. The little excerpts I've seen have been great, so I'm going to dive into that. And I'll let you guys know how it is next week if you don't read it yourselves. Epic Games buys Tonic Games. I don't know what Tonic Games has made. Do you, TCP?
Familiar with.
Like, this is info that he brought to me here on this one.
Yeah. Tonic Games, their last big game was Fall Guys. So
okay.
They're responsible behind Fall Guys, which was a big hit. And that was a fun game. I spent a lot of time on that game as well. Just playing Wipeout, but Battle Royale style.
Okay.
Definitely had a lot of fun doing that.
Now, didn't somebody recently buy the company that made Fortnite? Like
Epic Games.
So Epic Games bought. I need to look into that.
Epic Games made Fortnite.
Oh, they actually okay.
Yeah. Epic Games. It's of course there was funny rumors are going around that Elon Musk bought Epic Games just so he could shut down Fortnite.
Oh, I remember those.
He had my support for a little bit if he's actually doing it.
I would have thought that was hilarious. Okay, so Destiny 2 is getting a quote-unquote overhaul. All right, and then there's something that I am personally looking forward to, even though we just bashed remasters. I don't know if I've known one person out of every gaming community I've ever participated in that has played this game, Stubbs the Zombie. It was an Xbox.
Great.
What's that? Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh, you've played it? Okay.
Pretty awesome game, actually.
It's getting remastered. It's coming up to modern consoles. I have been looking for this game again forever. This is probably one of the only zombie games that I've actually loved. And TCP, have you ever played this? Is he there? Uh-oh. Was that him that was just messaging me? Nope. I'll bring it up with him later. But, all right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and cut this a little shorter today. Thank you, everybody who watches through all the technical issues and mumbo-jumbo that we've been having tonight. Hopefully we'll see you guys again next week at 5 p.m. Eastern. Oh, TCP, you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
I know it's been tough. I'm trying.
It's all good, man.
But
It's all good. So I'm going to head and do a closeout here, and we'll hopefully get back to our usual cast up, or get like Quantez in here, or hey, maybe we can even get Crywolf himself in here. But
funny enough, he was literally just texting me, and he was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I was like, "You could have been in here. I don't know why you didn't respond." And he's like, "What? I was supposed to be in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, Griffcast said he was texting you, asking you to join, but you never said anything. You didn't respond, so you just missed out on that one, bud."
Yeah, he just messaged me back like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, I think he's what broke my connection. He sent me a text, and then I dropped out of the call, and I was like, "That's just typical Crywolf, man, just breaking my stuff."
All right. So once again, thank you if you watched through all the technical mumbo jumbo that we had tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, enjoyed the little conversations we had, and we will be back to hopefully next week with our typical normal cast that we plan on, and we'll see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Peace.